Hey folks, what's going on? It's Monday now, the 20th, 4/20, 2020. So for those of you that enjoy Fire Up today, Fire Up healthily, I'll join you at some time today. Thank you folks for being with me. I would like to say this, folks are starting to leave recommendations and links, and I'm, I have enough. So unless you want to actually send me stuff, I'm really not paying attention to you should listen to and you should listen to, and that really kind of just like irks me, really, It's not that you can't share something with me, I just got to get this off my chest. It's like, okay, So, honestly, if you think something is really good and I should hear it, send it to me. How's that? I like that policy. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and just go to all these links that people are pointing me to. And frankly, so recently people have been sending me links to stuff that is not very... So, okay. Just being me. And of course, I show Freddie Hubbard, and of course, so have you heard of course, are y'all getting tired of this from me? This is the real me, and it could be a little bit of the isolation coming out, perhaps. I have my mask, and I don't need to go to the store, but I'll probably go to the store today just to get the hell out of this house. How's that? And I just realized I got up and needed to get up and prepare for my lesson with my student before I was able to do my morning ritual, and that makes a difference. So let me just calm my ass down. Yes, I have the Freddie Hubbard with Ihlan Mimaroglu. Sing me a song of Songmy. I love this. I love stuff like that. I have more works by Ihlan Mimaroglu as well. So this Friday will be the second installment of Higgs Corner on Stupid Morning Bullshit. Friday at 4 Central, 5 Eastern, and you just work your way towards the east, or the west. They sent me a promo for it. I'm gonna put it in here now.
Dereck, Higgins, this is Wireshark, local chat. So I'd like to hear something groovy, a little bit of funk, and something that brings people together, all right? All right, love you a lot. Bye.
When he talks funk, I can go so many different directions. Okay, here we go. You said he wanted something to get the people together, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Funkadelic, George Clinton. How can we do any better than that? I'm not cleaning my record, so pardon if there's a skip. You said you wanted some funk?
Even if you don't dig it, don't mean it's not the thing to do. Could be just for you. Even if you don't feel it right now, don't mean someday it'll turn you out.
Right?
You'll be out of sight.
So that was the promo. It's still hard for me to really fathom this idea that I'm doing this and I have this following for this show. It's still kind of unreal to me, but cool. If you happen to see on TCM on cable last night, they showed my brother-in-law's documentary, Floyd Norman and Animated Life. That's my sister, his wife, in that. I don't have cable, so I didn't get to see it, but I'm just saying if you happen to, that's my family. Okay, more records that I played and talked about yesterday with people online. That's how I'm going to go today. And I'm going to keep my social rant down because there's not much to say today. you know, the numbers keep going up here in Nebraska. Okay, that's what they said, you know. This is far from over. John Hassell, Vernal Equinox. I believe this is his first album. This is an original on Lovely Music. It was recently reissued. This is incredibly chill and far ahead of its time. This came out in 1977. It sounds brand new. Very, very atmospheric and mysterious sounding. Wonderful. Pop Prog from Holland. Kayak. See the Sun. I think this is their first or one of their first albums. I really like this band. It's a neat mixture of pop elements and keyboard-oriented classical. Very melodic. I like that melody. What is it? Lovely Luna is the track on here that I particularly love. It's just beautiful. Some progressive fusion from Italy, Dedalus. This is a reissue. It comes out of the Fusion McLaughlin bag. It's a little more frenetic or frantic sounding. It's like their mastery of the instruments is not the same as Mahavishnu, but they're inspired by it, and this is very good. Very good. Someone had mentioned some Haruomi Hosono to me, and I just said, well, yeah, I haven't played this one in a long time. This is the album that basically got Yellow Magic Orchestra to start. Haruomi Hosono was putting together studio musicians to make this album Paraiso. And on here you hear his influences. He really liked music out of the 40s and Hawaiian music. So this is a feel-good album. It's not electronic at all. It's really my least favorite of his records, or the early ones where this is what he's doing. The electronic records are the ones I like the most, but this, really enjoyed it. Paraiso. New Age artist. He embraced the term New Age, I understand. Steve Roach, although I think the music is a cut above most New Age. This is his album Traveler, a reissue. The original has a much better cover. But this is a wonderful electronic space album. The cover is good. Traveler. Really good. Real good. Can's first album. This is a 1973 pressing. The album came out in 1969. The original came out on a small label. Those are really hard to find. I've never seen a real copy. This record just really holds up as to what they were doing. It's very primitive and simple, but no one else was doing it in rock music at the time. And it's very hypnotic and like makes you think of dancing around a fire with drums going deep into the night. Monster Movie, Can. This is amazing. Amazing. Hadn't played this in a long time. Colosseum, Daughter of Time. Progressive rock band put together by the drummer John Heisman. The vocalist at this time was Chris Farlow, who back in the 60s in England was like a white soul singer. He had a very interesting voice. Sounded like he needed to gargle all the time. I first came across him as a kid buying one of his solo records as a cutout. And I never did. I liked the music, but his voice always bothered me. And it's like I can see where he got all the work he did with like Atomic Rooster and all those bands, because it's a very unusual voice. But I still don't like it, actually. But I like this music. It's a very good album. Great music. Great progressive rock. Showed this online, and Curtis Simpson was able to write. Once again, my brother calls me. I'm in the middle of making a video. I'll call you as soon as I'm done. Yeah. Curtis Simpson had the band. I think he had the band send me this album, Moongriffin's Glimpse of Future. I showed it, and he reminded me that those were his friends. This is on green vinyl. I hadn't played it since he sent it to me. I really like it. It's languid, dreamy, jazzy, similar to the sound of the band Tortoise. And they're Chicago-based, and that kind of makes sense. It's got kind of a Chicago vibe to it. Moongriffin, Glimpse of Future. This is really good. 2015 is when this came out. I recommend this. Instrumental, just what I like. Wonderful music. Real good. Here's something else that I don't know who sent this to me. Over the years, I've gotten a lot of really cool records. Galeshka Moravioff, Piano Solo, Volume 1. Russian, I guess? Interesting record. Look at this. Some kind of private press. I made it through one side of this last night, and it's good. The person can obviously play really well. And these are almost like exercises, but they are good. They're interesting. It's not like playing like a Rhapsody or some kind of like that. It's more interesting than Philip Glass, but it's kind of in that area where there's a lot of repetition and building of blocks of things. Galeshka Moravioff. If you happen to see this, whoever sent this to me, mention it. You know, who sent this to me. Okay, some funk, some obscure funk. Mother Night. I've showed this before, but last night I played this all the way through twice. This is an undervalued, undiscovered funk album. It's not a funk monster because there's a lot of cool songs on here and slow songs. There's a couple songs on here that are exceptional. The first one, Scuffle, and then Utopia. Funkier than shit. Now, all these musicians went on to do a lot of session work. The guitar player, Eddie Martinez, you've heard him. He's played with everyone, but he is the guy that plays that guitar solo on Run DMC's King of Rock. Is that the name of the song? That's his guitar playing. He's also played with Blondie. He's played with everyone. This is a really good album from the 70s. Mother Night. Mother Night. Pick up on this and tell me it isn't good. It's good. A percussionist who played with Al Di Meola and also Santana made this one solo album, Mingo Lewis. He knew some people I know. I never got to meet him. But my brother and his cronies, Charles and those guys, they knew Mingo. I don't know how they knew Mingo. But this is his solo album that he put out in 1976, and it's definitely in the fusion Di Meola Santana school, very Latin oriented grooves. And the majority of this album is really good. There's the attempt to cross over to a mainstream audience with vocals, and those songs are the ones that I think fall on their face. But the instrumentals on here groove and jam really well. Flight Never Ending, Mingo Lewis. I recommend it. This is a reissue because originals on the mainstream label are expensive. The Growing Concern. Back when mainstream records was cashing in on psychedelia, this is a good one. I showed it, and Miguel Oliveira compared them to the Mamas and Papas, and I said that's a good touch point. The main thing is that these guys obviously know how to play. There's a couple of women in the band, and their vocals are prominent. They sound classically trained. The songs are well arranged and not simple. This is really good. The Growing Concern. Really enjoyed that. A couple more, and I'm out of here. Tell me how you're doing, folks, because this is grinding on, and as you see the news, people are losing their shit. The person up in Nova Scotia, this bullshit down in Texas, ridiculous. Tell me how you're doing, folks. Hang in there. I'm hanging in there. I am. Dave Mason, he was in the band Traffic. This is one of his, if not his very first solo album, it's one of them. A very interesting album, Alone Together, with this neat cutout cover. This came out in 1970. This is one of the first albums on the main rock and roll market to feature marble wax pressing. I'd seen other records like this because colored vinyl is nothing new, nor are picture discs. Those go all the way back to the 20s and 30s, if I understand. But this is one of the first main rock and roll commercial releases that I can think of that was on vinyl like that. I'd like to hear from you folks who maybe know of other early releases on vinyl like that. That's one of the first that I can think. That's a great album. Only You and I Know is one of the great songs on there. Really enjoyed the music yesterday. Played this all the way through yesterday, Elton John. And Lady Samantha's not on here. I had a really rare record. I had a lot of rare records. Like I say, I don't begrudge my sister, but it was very traumatic. And I do sometimes still have bad dreams about that. It was like being stabbed in the soul. I knew that she wouldn't understand what she was doing to me, but I couldn't escape it. She wouldn't stop. Remember that, Stephanie? I know you watch me. It's a good album. But you can't tell what's coming from this album. This it starts off kind of creepy. It kind of creeps up. And by the time side 2 is going, it's good. Yes, I knew already that he had tried to join Gentle Giant, King Crimson, and some other stuff too. This stuff escapes my memory a lot of times. For you jazzers, if you don't know this album, go out and buy this immediately. Realization by Eddie Henderson. It's basically the Herbie Hancock group, the Mwandishi version, where the different members were able to get record deals and cut their own records, but it's the same group of people and it's the same amazing energy and vision. And Henderson's trumpet playing is very distinct. He has a style of his own. Excellent. Okay. I think that brings me up to snuff here as far as showing you what I played. I am enjoying the interaction, folks. I am. I really am. And we're going to get through this. I am disappointed, and we'll say it before I go. I'm disappointed in the way that the mainstream media in America is handling things. And the mainstream media is privately owned by the one-tenth of 10%. And from what I can gather, the way that they're steering stuff in the news, they don't have any good intentions for this country or this globe. It's really sad. You know, you keep looking for light at the end of the tunnel, that someone will start making decisions based on human needs. But the focus is continually, we want to get back to making profit and keeping the game going. So sad. So unwise. I'm glad I'm not like that.